Love, marriage, and family, the most important lessons for women. In a woman's life, love, marriage, and family are often among the most significant topics. However, only after going through these experiences do you realize that some things are more important than love, that some mistakes are more painful than being single, and that some lessons, if learned earlier, could save you a great deal of regret. Here, I want to share some real-life lessons and insights as if I had personally experienced them, hoping they can provide guidance to younger women. Lesson 1. Love is not everything, but the right love can make you better. Case 1. Passionate love versus stable love. When I was young, I once loved a man passionately. He was handsome, intelligent, and talented, but also a classic free spirit. Being with him made my heart race, but it also filled me with anxiety. He loved his freedom and disliked commitment, while I longed for stability in our relationship. For 3 years, we were on and off countless times. I cried for him at night, held back from calling when he was distant, and always worried about losing him. But in the end, I finally realized love should not be a constant struggle. It should nourish and help you grow. Later, I met my husband. He didn't bring the intense, heart-stopping passion of my past relationship, but he made me feel safe. His love was stable and reassuring. I never had to guess how he felt or worry that he would suddenly leave. Now, after over 10 years of marriage, I'm grateful that I chose someone who gave me peace rather than constant uncertainty. Lesson: passion is important, but stability is even more important. Don't chase thrilling love while ignoring the kind of relationship that will truly make you happy. Lesson 2. Marriage is not the end of love. It's the beginning of a new challenge. Case 2. Marriage is a choice, not a task. A close friend of mine was pressured into marriage by her family when she turned 30. She eventually married a man with good conditions, a stable career, a well-off family, and a calm personality. Their courtship lasted less than a year before they got married. However, after marriage, she realized their values were entirely different. She loved traveling. He preferred staying at home. She craved deep conversations. He believed that providing financially was his only responsibility. Most painfully, she longed for intimacy and connection, but he saw marriage as merely living together and fulfilling duties. A year later, she told me, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't have rushed into marriage because of family pressure or my age. I would rather have waited longer than settled for the wrong person. Eventually, she found the courage to divorce. Although it was a painful transition, she later found a partner who truly understood and cherished her. Lesson: marriage is not a life requirement. Don't marry out of fear of being single or because of pressure from others. The person you choose will shape your happiness for decades to come. It's better to wait than to settle. Lesson 3. Happiness in a family is not built on endless compromise. Case 3. Compromise doesn't always lead to a happy marriage. I know a woman who has been married for over 20 years. Everyone says she married well, her husband is wealthy, her children are successful, and they own multiple properties. Yet she once confided in me, "You know what? I feel invisible in my own home." Her husband, a successful businessman, believed that as long as he provided financially, he had done his part. He never asked about her feelings, dreams, or struggles. Whenever she tried to communicate, he would say, "What more do you want? I work so hard to give you a good life." She endured this dynamic for years, believing that patience and compromise would eventually bring happiness. But one day, she fell ill and was hospitalized. Her husband barely had time to visit her, instead blaming her for not taking better care of herself. At that moment, she realized that all her sacrifices and endurance had not earned her love or respect. She finally decided to change. She stopped trying to please everyone and instead focused on her own happiness. She took up hobbies, reconnected with old friends, and started living for herself. Lesson: in marriage, sacrificing yourself does not guarantee happiness. A healthy relationship requires mutual respect, communication, and equality, not one-sided endurance. Lesson 4. Children are a part of marriage, but they should not be your whole life. Case 4. Being a mother does not mean losing yourself. There was a time when I was a full-time mother. My entire life revolved around my children. I planned their meals, their schoolwork, their activities, until one day I realized I had completely lost myself. As they grew older and needed me less, I felt empty and directionless. It was then that I understood, if a woman dedicates her entire existence to her children, what happens when they no longer need her? I decided to change. I started learning new skills, exploring new interests, and rediscovering my own identity outside of motherhood. Lesson: love your children, but don't make them your entire world. A woman should have her own dreams, passions, and ambitions beyond being a mother. Final thoughts. A woman must take control of her own life. Looking back, these are the lessons I want to share with younger women. 1. Love is not everything. Choose a partner who gives you peace, not one who keeps you anxious. 2. Don't rush into marriage out of pressure. Wait for someone who truly aligns with you. 3. Happiness in a family is not achieved through endless compromise. It requires mutual respect and communication. 4. Children are important, but they should not define your entire life. Nurture your own dreams as well. Marriage and family can bring immense happiness, but only if you make the right choices. If you're still young, cherish your time. Explore, learn, and grow into an independent, confident woman. That way, no matter whether you marry or not, whether you have children or not, your life will still be meaningful, fulfilling, and truly your own.